Starfleet intelligence has decoded the list of reman targets that you recovered from the vault. I need you to investigate one of these locations and determine why Obasek and his forces planned an attack there. The Vahar system is still technically part of the Romulan Star Empire, but Ferengi speculators have moved in, and the Empress has done nothing to remove them. The Ferengi have reopened the mines, and are now doing business with anyone with Latinum. You will go to the Vahar system under the pretense of negotiating a possible trade agreement with the Federation. Talk to Madron, the operator of the mines. Convince him to allow you access. Find out all you can. Once we know why Obasek and the remans are targeting these mines, then we will be able to decide how to proceed.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. In the last episode, we were sent to investigate the vault in a small craft to check out some energy readings that long-range scans discovered. But when we arrived, we discovered that those energy readings were coming from a thalaron weapons manufacturing facility, which the remans were using to, well, manufacture thalaron weapons. And we recovered a list of targets that they were going to use those weapons on. In this episode, we are being sent to check out one of those targets. Let's get into it. Zarva says that the magnesite is affecting our senses, and that we'll have to hail each moon to determine which one is the one we're looking for. Tyrell, hail the first moon.
You've stuck your nose in our business for the last time, Starfleet.
For God's sake.
Attack! Attack!
Bloody Orions. That shouldn't be too difficult. One down, two to go. Right, one to go. Damned paranoid Orions. Helm, set a course for the next moon. Tyrell, hail the next moon.
This moon is private property. No solicitors, beggars, or Starfleet allowed.
They're not very hospitable, are they? Tyrell informs me that this is a dangerous area, and it's only gotten worse since the destruction of Romulus. She thinks it might be difficult to get someone to trust us. I agree. However, we do know which moon it is. Only one left. Helm, set a course. Well, let's check out this last moon. Tyrell, hail them.
Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite? We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please transport to the surface.
Greetings, Margarine. We are indeed looking to make a deal with you on behalf of Starfleet. We will transport to any coordinates you give us.
Unfortunately, the large amounts of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know you Starfleet types are so fond of your away teams, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface?
Indeed.
My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you?
That I would not, Margarine. I will take a single officer with me. God. This is a very desolate planet, to say the least. Lots of Romulans. Fascinating. Let's find Margarine. Oops, sorry about that. Nearly bumped into one of the locals. Those are some interesting dogs. They don't seem aggressive. Perhaps they are pets of some sort. There, I think I see Margarine in the distance there. Margarine.
On behalf of everyone on this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Thalaron.
Thank you.
As you can see, we don't have time for pleasantries. And I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So, why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business?
Of course, Margarine. I've heard you're an excellent source of magnesite. What makes your mine better than the others in this sector?
Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own.
Oh?
I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore.
Indeed.
My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need.
Indeed. Seems like an excellent business. Do you have any more information about the mines themselves?
I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty, disagreeable business. And I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you.
I can imagine.
The miners who live near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale?
Thank you, but I'd like to talk to the miners first. They don't sound very well treated.
Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it.
I assure you I will not be cutting you out of any deals I make here, Margarine. I just have a few questions before we conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Flores thinks that Margarine won't answer any questions about why the remans might be targeting this place for fear of scaring us away from a possible sale. She thinks that if we ask some of the locals about what's going on here, they'll be able to provide more information. I agree completely. Jolan True, tell me about your life here.
What can I say? We exist. I mine because there's nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I'm lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota and Margarine pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep.
Indeed.
If we don't make our quotas, there's nothing. Even if I do have latinum, most of it goes to Margarine to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Margarine to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Besides, where would I go?
I'm sure you can find a home on a Starfleet colony. Tell me about Margarine.
Every morning, the first thing I do when I wake is curse that Ferengi's name. Margarine found this moon about 2 years after the destruction of the homeworld. Most of our equipment was broken or useless. The supplies were gone and we were starving. After some negotiations, Modron had his contract and we had food. We're supposed to be working with him, but he's the only one who benefits from our labor. Modron owns the only working ship here, so no supplies come in without him. He negotiates all of the ore contracts, so most of the latinum goes into his pocket. And he sets the prices for food, medicine, and equipment. So everyone here owes him more than we can ever repay. He owns us now. I hate him for that. But I can't live without him.
Sounds like Modron was leaving a lot out of what he told us. Do you get help from the Empire?
The Empire? What Empire? Our empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld. If you're rich or in the military, then maybe there's something. I hear the people in Seela's Shining City and the Rator system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there's nothing but dust and regret.
That's quite unfortunate. The Federation has sent aid. We want to help all Romulans.
I have heard this, but I have not seen that it is true. Are you going to go to every Romulan on every world and hand them bread?
Well...
Because that is the only way you can help all of us. The strong take from the weak. Seela and her ships are strong. The Tal Shiar is strong. Your aid goes to fill their bellies and heal their wounds, Starfleet, not mine.
Well, good talk. I might see you again. Fascinating. Jolan True?
I'm sorry, I really can't talk at the moment. I have to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
As much as I'd appreciate someone else to lug around this heavy equipment, it's all very delicate, and I'd only trust a capable scientist to help me.
Well, unfortunately, I studied tactics in the academy, not science. If I encounter someone who can help, I'll send them your way. If only I brought Tevrel down here with me. Jolan True?
I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run. And if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
I need someone who's not afraid of a fight.
Well, that's me.
There's a group here that's beating and stealing from us. Modron doesn't do anything to stop it. For all I know, he's getting a cut of everything they take. They're making life miserable for all of us. Would you be willing to help?
It would be my duty as a Starfleet officer. I don't think the Prime Directive applies here, seeing as this is a business, not a society.
There's a group of bullies that have been stealing from us. If we don't give them what they want, they beat us. I had a friend. All he was trying to do here was feed his family. Be a good man. He had an old bottle of ale. He said it was from the homeworld. One of those thugs wanted it. Now, my friend is dead. I'm too weak to stop them, I know that. And now I have my friend's children to feed in addition to my own. But if someone were to teach them a lesson, this camp would be a better place for all of us.
Well, I do have a phaser. Well, let's see if we can find any of these bullies. God, that's hideous. Oh. Looks like we found what we're looking for. I think a surprise attack would go well. The phasers are on stun, of course. Hopefully they'll have learned their lesson by the time they wake up. Those dogs look somewhat less friendly than the ones in here. Oh, seems they got wind of what we did to that other group. Well, perhaps if we confiscate their weapons, they won't be able to do much. God knows how they got them in the first place. Maybe they're working with Modron. Maybe he gets a cut of everything they take. This person is scanning one of those dogs. Ugh. Oh. Seems these are the last of them. Ha! Well, I think we're done here. Let's check back in with our friend. Hello again.
Thank you. Those guys have been giving everyone a lot of trouble. These thugs are part of a larger group that operates deep inside the magnesite mine. They control the lower levels, and no one who goes down there uninvited ever comes back.
Indeed.
I don't know what's so important down there that's worth hurting us to protect it. Maybe if you went down there, you could get some answers.
I intend to. Let's let Martrin know we're going down there. Hello again, Martrin.
You want to go in the mine?
I do.
Are you really interested in buying any magnesite? Or are you just here to cause trouble?
I assure you, I mean you...
Because if it's the latter, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus.
Oh, you do?
There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine.
We've heard of them.
They won't even let me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information.
Indeed.
But lately, they've been more trouble than they're worth. And the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the Breen invasion of the fairy space?
The what? Oh, I will take that information to heart. Interesting. Well, let's get down to the mine. We've taken this lift to the lower levels. Let's see what we can find. Oh, it looks like the entrance is guarded. Jolan True?
What do you want?
Well, we have two options. I'd like to enter this area, or for you to get out of my way. I think I'll go with the friendly option. I'd like to enter this area.
This area is restricted. Only people my friends and I like may enter. And I don't like you!
Well, I can say, maybe if you got to know me a little better, you'd learn to like me. Or I can say, I wonder if you like my weapon. I'm gonna go with the second option. Of course, we're just stunning him. He's inside a box. I won't mind that. Well, let's see what they're hiding down here. Starfleet, surrender now, or not. Seems all this mining has made these people hard of hearing. Now they've noticed us. Where did these people get Romulan disruptors from? Oh, there's another one. And another one. And it sounds like there's another one. Or perhaps not. Let's take some scans. Flores informs me that there's a series of pressure plates located in the area. Apparently they're low-tech, but the Romulans may have had to resort to outdated security measures because of the interference from the magnesite. Flores also informs me that that very same magnesite is making the tricorders almost useless. She thinks that if there's anything on this moon that the remans would want to eliminate badly enough to use thalaron weapons, it has to be here. I agree. Let's see if we can't activate those pressure panels. Now, I have to give Flores an order, which is this icon here. Sets a rally point for your crew. And that should... No, I meant to put it on the pressure plate. Well, she's not quite on the pressure plate. But, let's open this door. Well, that seems quite high-tech to me. There's not even a groove in the floor for the door. It just melted into the ground. Fascinating. The Federation doesn't have that type of technology. But this looks somewhat out of place. This looks like some Telshia facility.
I give the orders here, Commander. You are out of line.
With all due respect, sir, there is a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and provoking
There is
them.
much here you do not understand, Janek. The remans need to know their place. As do you. I will not forget your insubordination, Commander. The Tal Shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders. I'll be in the command center.
Colonel, they were civilians. Their blood is on our hands.
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which, why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
What's the Telshia doing here? Well, I'd like to be somewhat discreet about this. Flores says that the analysts in this room look completely engaged in their work, and she wouldn't be surprised if we can sneak past them without their notice. Hopefully. Oh. Yeah, no, it seems like it. Oh, we've been noticed. But they didn't notice. Perhaps they've got sound reduction devices in their ears to assist with their work. Well. It seems we need an access code of some sort. Must be someplace around here we can find one. Logs of the Romulan Empire's activity. Indeed. Observed from Hollowfield on Rator 3. Increased power use in Royal Palace indicates that lower levels may be in use. Senator Shemek is accepting bribes in exchange for slowing progress on trade agreements. Herodian representatives meet with Sela. Reman representatives removed from Senate chamber. Opposition leader Tetan assassinated. 3 reunification proponents arrested. Agents for Sela meet with the True Way leaders near Badlands. That's not good. Sela might be looking for an alliance between the Cardassian True Way and the Romulan Star Empire. That's very much not good. Logs on Taldeo activity. Excellent. Now, let's read everything. Logs on Borg activity, yes please. Observed from captured hollow recordings in the Delta Quadrant, resistance is futile. Well, that's typical. Well, maybe the next one will be more interesting. Logs on True Way activity. Ooh, Starfleet activity. I wonder what they know. Klingon Empire activity. This might be useful for the war effort. Martok. Gorn push for representative on High Council rejected. Fascinating. Of course, I've downloaded all of this, but none of it helps us open the door. Perhaps these doors are unlocked. They are indeed.
I almost feel sorry for you, but I have my own neck to worry about. I'll be joining you in there soon enough. If Hakiv has his way, we all will.
Ooh, that's fascinating. Let's see if we can't sneak around. Find out more information. Ooh, we may be able to create a distraction by opening the prison cells. Opening northeast prison cells. And last but not least, southeast prison cells. Right, you guys need to create a distraction. We're looking to capture the commander. Fire.
Enough! I surrender. I value my life more than the Tal Shiar's secrets. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But first, you must tell me why you are here and what you want.
Why does the Reman Resistance want to destroy this base?
The remans know about this base? Impossible! Only the leadership of the Tal Shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us.
Apparently not.
I don't believe you, but it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here. Nothing more. There are many targets that those Reman scum would find much more tempting.
Well, I'm inclined to believe that these are all lies, Commander.
Are you sure you want to end things like this?
Like what, Commander? Oh, like this. Oh, Christ, that's a massive disruptor turret she just beamed in. Damn. Where did the commander go? Oh, there. She snuck up behind me. Well, at least we got her command codes. Right. Let's try her command codes. A hallway and security. Looks like they're on a patrol. Let's see if we can't. They are coming this way. Run, Flores. Oh, there's a two-way patrol. We have to engage these ones. Right. Seems these walls are thick enough that the other patrol didn't hear. Excellent. Let's see if we can't capture Colonel Hakiv. That would be wonderful. Oh, damn, a force field.
How did you find this place? What else do you know? No matter. You won't be revealing anything to your superiors. It's disappointing I cannot give you a proper interrogation, but I have much to do and little time. The self-destruct sequence has begun. This base will be your tomb.
Oh, Christ. Well, he can transport out of here, and there must be a transport enhancer in that room. Damn. Apparently the reactor is going critical. We need to get out of here, but not before we find out what's so important to Hakiv that he'll destroy this base to protect it. Ah, the force field's down now that he's gone. We can probably thank the self-destruct sequence for that. Alright, I'm downloading the Tal Shiar's records. That doesn't look good. Right, let's get out of here. Oh, thank God. Let's get away from the lift. It might collapse. Whew. That was close. Let's speak to Margarine. Margarine, there was a Tal Shiar listening post under your mine.
My mine! What have you done to my mine?
As I was saying, there was an infestation of Tal Shiar spies in there. I just fumigated.
Tal Shiar? I'm shocked!
I'm sure you are.
I had no idea. I certainly wouldn't have sent you down there if you...
Indeed.
Hey, you didn't happen to find anything valuable down there, did you? Because if you did, remember, I have an exclusive contract.
Go to hell, Margarine, and stop with the bloody lies. I know you knew who and what was down there.
And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the Quadrant, you know, and they're good neighbors. If you're not easily embarrassed. Their cameras and listening devices are everywhere.
I'm sure.
I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Herodians since they moved in. And it doesn't hurt that I acquired the odd bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information is big business.
Do you know anything about what they recently discovered?
Unfortunately, no. I'll admit, I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janik and Hakiv were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakiv mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know that Tal Shiar takes security very seriously. If you manage to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience.
Indeed.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulans into digging a new mine to replace the one you destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined.
Treat those miners well, Margarine, or I'll be back. Flores says that Margarine doesn't seem to know much. Or at least he's not willing to part with what information he knows without being paid. Flores doesn't think he can help us anymore. She thinks we should return to the ship and try our luck at decrypting the files we recovered from the Tal Shiar. She's sure they'll be more useful than anything Margarine has to say. I agree. Revenant, 2 to beam up. Now, for this part of the mission, you have to go to your ship's ready room, which, if you don't know, you simply click on this arrow here and go to visit Starship Bridge. So, here's the bridge, and I believe my ready room is this way. No. Alright. Okay, my ready room seems to be back there. That way. Oh, this is my ready room. And I've got a fish tank. Fascinating. Right, let's access the library files and compare them to the data we downloaded. Decipher Tal Shiar files Ifar. 5 files uploaded. Fervor communication file, plethora communication file, precedence personnel file, reciprocity unknown file type, referendum communication file. Well, let's start with the top. File Fervor, activities of note in Klingon space. Emperor Kalis has been spotted in Breen space. Chancellor Jimpak has potential adversary in Jarod. The House of Torg was brought before the High Council for commendation by the House of Martok. The Forecast 3 Batleth tournament has a new champion. Computer, analyze the file structure. No anomalous data structures found in the file. File referenced by another file, reciprocity. Cross-reference with Starfleet records. Inaccuracy found. The House of Torg lost its seat in the Klingon High Council after evidence was revealed that the House leaders collaborated with Romulans to attack House of Martok. Goodness. Let's change the file to information, see what we can do. Change commendation to acts of treason. This file was apparently related to reciprocity. Open that file. Oh goodness. This looks like some sort of code? Computer, analyze the file structure. File is encrypted using multivariable passkey that references another files uploaded. Further plethora, precedence, so forth. So the inaccuracies in the files are actually a key for the code. That is smart. Computer, apply the key from the previous code we decoded. We've uncovered a few words, however, not enough to understand anything. Let's decode another file. Open file plethora. Notable activities in United Federation of Planets. Federation Embassy established on Defera Prime. Federation Council extends aid to Cardassia Prime and agrees to continue Defense Pact. Klingon Federation peace talks disrupted on Regulus 4. Vulcan Ambassador Soketh retires to Monastery on Pajem. That doesn't sound right. Cross-references Starfleet records, computer. Inaccuracy found. Ambassador Soketh was revealed to be an Undine infiltrator after a Starfleet vessel transported him to the monastery at Pajem. Let's change the faulty information. Computer, change retires to exposed at. Right, that fixed it. Open the reciprocity file. Apply the key we just uncovered. More words. More words have been uncovered. Let's see if we can't get more. Open file precedence. Open file referendum. Well, that seems to have done it. We may have the last information we need to analyze that last file. Computer, apply the last passkey. Excellent. File reciprocity. Secret Reman base detected in the Dera system. Listening post on Hephaestus has detected an increase in subspace communication and ships traveling to and from the Dera system. Analysis of the communications and ship traffic reveals patterns of obfuscation normally employed by Reman forces. Tal Shiar forces then intercepted a ship leaving the Dera system and captured 47 Romulan civilians. Passengers and crew were summarily executed under orders of Colonel Hakiv, but the captain and first officer were preserved for questioning. Under interrogation, the captain of the Reman vessel provided a security key that could be used to decipher encrypted communications sent to the Dera system. The decrypted message proved that there is a base in the area of space being used by Reman resistance. Recommendation: Tal Shiar ships should be sent to the Dera system immediately to capture this base and its inhabitants. This would be very useful for Starfleet. Seems we'll have to visit the Dera system next. Tyrell recommends we get this information to Admiral Tanay at Starbase 39 Sierra immediately. I agree. Helm, set in a course. Admiral.
The Tal Shiar records you recovered showed that Hakiv and his forces have been targeting the Remans for months. Obasek and his followers have been driven from their homes, had their ships destroyed, and their loved ones killed or imprisoned. Some might say that Obasek's campaign against the Tal Shiar is just. However, Obasek was planning on using thalaron weapons in the Bahar system, which would have killed hundreds of innocent civilians as well as the Tal Shiar cell there. This is the problem with revenge. Violence and fury only create more pain and suffering.
Indeed.
I have...
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
That's all for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content and you'd like to see more, please feel free to like and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.